The Federal and City Union Bank jointly present the Tanjavur Marathon 2025 on Sunday, February 23. This event is powered by Sri Kamachi Medical Center and Anandam Silks and organized by Tanjavur District Athletics Association.
See, typically, if you look at Trump, his mindset, he's a businessman. So this is MAGA-MIGA, that kind of a thing, He says, make America great again. He says, make India great again. When he comes back to India, he has to have something strong where he tells home that I got something from America. I think that he has given in the form of Tavahur Rana. End of the day, Modi also, he's a tough negotiator, the Gujarati in him.
Hello and welcome. I'm Srinivasan. This is Talking Sense with Srini. We're discussing Prime Minister Modi's high-stakes US visit where he met Donald J. Trump at the White House. Joining me to discuss more is Editor-in-Chief, Mr. Srinivasan, sir. So thank you very much, Srini, sir.
Yeah,
I would like to begin with this. How do you read the Modi-Trump, meeting in the White House? There seems to be a bit of a tone down in the camera during the bottom, isn't it?
No, I won't see it that way. See, this is official meeting.
Okay.
So what perhaps you are comparing with earlier when Modi has gone more of a campaign time, when, that's in the first term.
That's right.
Obviously, things are different right now. So what you have seen is a lot of, if you were to say Ina Mina Deka kind of a thing. He's saying MAGA, which means make America great again, and Modi saying MIGA, make India great again, and then Modi coining a new phrase, let's have a mega deal. So this is MAGA-MIGA, that kind of a thing, So it's rhyming. So Modi is very good at alliteration, and, he has tried this. Sounds very good, looks good in front of camera, where, you saw the image where Trump is being very polite, easing him into the chair, into the conference room before the Oval Office meeting began. So it's all very nice. But before that, a kind of warning was issued a day before, saying that I'm going to do tariff across. This time he's careful. He didn't talk about any specific tariff against India. He didn't say 15%, 25%. He has got a new acronym now, Trump, Mr. 25%. He didn't try that. Rather, he was, a universal kind of.
That's right.
That the spokesperson also said yesterday, day before Modi landed, said that, America is being taken for granted. All countries have imposed all kinds of advantage they've taken, and this,
Slap them back with reciprocal.
Yeah, so
tariff.
we're going to reciprocate. It's all going to be reciprocal, and that's the way it was all coined. So it's a kind of shock and awe. If you see, even immigrants was sent on military aircraft. I mean, it's kind of try what you can, touch me not. I'm going to send these guys back home. That kind of a very strongman message. So Trump is giving these kind of messaging. It's blow hot, blow cold at one level, or you want to see, we are a very strong nation and we are going to deal with. So it's hardly 3 weeks now, and this shock and awe has actually really shocked the world. I think midst of all this, Modi has landed there, and he was the fourth,
Heads of state
head
to
of state to be there. And the first one, of course, was Israel, another one Japanese, third one Jordanian king. But they have their own reasons. But
That's
Trump,
And this is perhaps the first solid meeting, I guess.
yeah. So it's a big nation, India, and I think India was also very keen to set an early meeting with him, so that we don't get caught in his overall, otherwise developing political, kind of imbroglio. And I think Modi has now returned. He is returning today after a successful meet in a way. That's how the establishment project. And in some ways, I think it's a mixed bag.
Also, I think it seems like Trump was totally miffed about the kind of tariffs that India has slapped on the United States. He says, we are not able to sell our automobile into the Indian markets and so on. We also saw, Prime Minister Modi sort of hailing Trump. He said, if there were to be a copyrights for EV, it should be for Donald J. Trump. My question to you is, there was a meeting before with Elon Musk and his family. Should we be connecting dots? You see that Tesla can eventually come into India? It's high time that it should come into India.
Yeah, so you're raising two different issues. One is about meeting with Elon Musk. Elon Musk meeting is basically he would like to expand his business in India two ways. One is the Starlink, which is
That's
the
right. Yeah.
Wi-Fi and telephony, which he wants to bring the network, and it's been he is the application is still under consideration of Indian government. It is stalled because of security reasons and other, I think, pricing and other issues still to be sorted out. The second is Tesla. It's a bit expensive for India, and so he has also said that we'd be making what is called affordable Teslas for India. I think we haven't heard anything officially, any
That's right.
progress on that. But the meeting with Elon Musk has become important because now he has emerged as a new kind of alter ego for Trump. And it is necessary that before he meets Trump, he has a meeting with them. That's what Modi did. He cleverly met Tulsi Gabbard, and then he met
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Then he met Musk, and then he met Modi. I think these are important signals. And whether the deal actually happens, whether we get Tesla, whether we get to see Starlink, those are the details we still have to wait. But the meeting has happened. Let's see. We haven't got any statement from either of the two. But what is more important is his meeting with Trump, which was significantly more important. And the outcome of that we have to see. Now, again, typically, Trump threatened, and he complains a lot. He says the whole world is against America and they have really
That's right. Yeah.
stripped them of their goodwill. And he wants to deal in a reciprocal manner, which is slightly off, it's slightly off track because of two reasons. In the past also, he slapped lots of tariffs, thinking that the thinking behind that is that, America will reduce its trade deficit with the rest of the world. It'll generate more jobs within his own country. It'll bring the prices down. Also, it'll improve manufacturing for his own country. None of this has happened in the past. Neither it is likely to happen. So you may question then why he's doing it again. It's basically again a tactics to shock and awe the world and then get concessions for himself. See, typically, if you look at Trump, his mindset, he's a businessman.
That's right.
And he, again, wants to negotiate, and he really loves negotiations. So he wants to make a point. It's before anybody comes to the negotiating table, he wants to be one up on him. And therefore, he's trying all this strong arm tactics, kind of, threatening and doing all this kind of posturing, so that when you ultimately come down to negotiations, that America has an upper hand. And it is very good for his domestic audience. They are really loving it. The MAGA crowd really loves it. A poll suggested that nearly 80% of Americans are actually loving what he's doing. And for Modi, it's equally good. He said, MIGA, make India great again. I also want the same thing. Both the personalities match when it comes to political ideology. He is conservative. Modi is also conservative. He says, make America great again. He says, make India great again. Both of them say that, we want to improve our manufacturing. So, when he comes back to India, he has to have something strong where he tells home that I got something from America. I think that he has given in the form of Tawahur Rana. He says, I'm agreeing to extradite him, and then I'm willing to sell you F-35 supersonic latest, so aircraft. So Modi can come back and say, look, these are the things I have got. So both the leaders, are transactional. If Modi is, if Trump is transactional, so is Modi. So, in fact, a question was asked that who's a tough negotiator? He said, yeah, Modi is very tough. So, he was just playing along. And I think, end of the day, Modi also, he's a tough negotiator. The Gujarati in him, the businessman in him somewhere played his role as well, we must assume. So, both sides know each other well because they also interacted in the previous regime. Modi officials also know the Trump officials very well. So, I think it's been a kind of a jugalbandi. It's a mixed bag, again, I would say, repeat.
And, as you said, an extension of your F-35 proposal from the United States there. You already have an existing partnership with Russia on the Sukhoi 57. So you think. How do you see this sort of the defense partnership kind of shape up? Do you really see the F-35 fifth generation fighter jets as some kind of a strategic opportunity for India to explore?
Yeah, so F-35 is a strategic weapon. It's not just an aircraft. You have to see there are things beyond. Look, traditionally, India has been buying arms and
Russian
ammunition
weaponry for a
from
long time, yeah?
Russian. We have depended a lot of our things come from their platforms, whether it is Flying One or whether it is Navy, whether it is Army. We have been
That's right.
quite a bit getting Russian imports. Over a period of time, we have been kind of this change has happened from 80s onwards, that we're trying to diversify. We went for European aircraft also, and then we got American came late to the party. We started getting basically transport aircraft from them. We got rotary, like Chinook, or you have helicopter gunship and heavy lift transport plane, Globemaster, C-17, all that we got. We haven't yet got into the fighter planes, and therefore this is entirely a different ball game. Look, whether we'll have the F-35s tomorrow, no, I don't think so. It's going to be a long drawn process. It's not a simple thing. Yeah, at a political level, the two leaders have, Trump proposed and Modi agreed. But then beyond that, a lot of detailing has to happen. Whether we actually get it, when do we get it, what is going to be the timeline, how is it going to be, whether it's going to be manufactured here, it's going to be transfer of technology, or it's going to be outright purchase, and whether the other question is what is the requirement of the Indian Air Force. Because they have to raise what is called request for they have to send the proposal, and then it has to be designed. Whether it fits in other equipments which we already have, other platforms, how we are going to do that.
That's right.
What is the avionics going to be inside? What is the ammunition? There are a lot of details involved in that. It's not going to be a simple one, but it's just a beginning.
I'm not sure the Tawahur Rana is also going to be simple, because the extradition request sort of been approved by Donald Trump, but I think it's going to take a lot of time, I guess.
Again, it has to go through the American judicial process. Trump has said that he can be tried in India. I'm not privy to the details, but it's a beginning. That America has sent a very positive signal saying that okay, we're willing to send a person back who could be tried in India, and it's a great political victory for Modi, because he can come back and say, look, I got the perpetrators of 26/11. Finally, justice is being delivered. It's not empty words. That fight against terrorism is not just empty words. And 26/11 is a big symbol. And for Bharatiya Janata Party, it's a big symbol, and they'll really try to encash on that, and saying that, if terrorism happens on our soil, we'll go to any extent to get the perpetrators back and tried on the Indian soil. That's a kind of a strong message which Modi will build and talk about it, and it's going to be a big deal for him.
So one last question there, sir. I mean, President Trump has said, according to Reuters report, that he wants to focus on key areas, which is energy, technology, and defense there, as far as India is concerned, to address the widening fiscal deficit between India, widening trade deficit between India and the United States. As far as China is concerned, I don't see him sort of, going completely against China. There's no much of a bombardment as such against Xi Jinping here. He still says you're very close friends and so on. How do you see this? Certainly, I'm not sure whether India is still seen as a counterweight to China from a very Trump perspective.
I think you've raised a lot of questions. Let me try to answer one by one. Let's take trade, for instance. So he did say that there's widening trade deficit between India and the United States. Actually, it's not much. If you look at globally, the trade happens, we are much low. I think the deficit was around, $50 billion or some such thing. Our trade is about $150 billion. And therefore, the Indian government has said that by 2030, we'll have a $500 billion trade with America. America is very keen to export a lot of their items. One, he was very keen on selling Harley Davidson, which India has actually agreed to reduce tariffs on that. The other thing is a lot of American dry fruits are coming into India.
That's right, yeah.
The Californian almonds, pecanos and pistachios, all those things are coming to India in large number. and Washington apples. These things will continue. The other thing is about oil. America is very keen to sell its oil, and Trump has given a slogan, "Dig boy, dig, let's dig and get more oil, fossil fuel," basically. But he is hell bent on doing that. So, but India can again take advantage of that if provided the oil is affordable, cheap as compared to other countries, because there are a lot of avenues open for India to get oil. Because a lot of other countries are also willing to sell oil, but ultimately it's a commercial decision. Gas, certainly India can get cheaper gas from United States. So, and that will be really helpful for India, because 80% of our requirements are imported, and therefore we need that, especially to improve our own economy. It is a requirement. So that's one on the trade. So the thing is, he's calling ourselves as tariff kings. That's a statement he has used against it. So he will negotiate hard and try to reduce tariffs. It is true that our tariffs are high, but there is a reason. Yeah, so there could be some give and take, and those decisions will be taken. The final negotiations will begin, and as a statement came later, indicated that somewhere around September, October, this could be concluded. So we have to wait and watch what kind of deal finally India manages to get from United States. So that's one as far as trade is concerned. And America also realizes that having a kind of a trade war with all countries may not be very productive, because after all, they also need a market to sell their product. India is a very good market. It's a large market. So obviously, Trump is also looking at India for that. So that's one. Second question you raised about,
China.
China. So China, again, he made some initial noises. We're going to impose 100% tariffs required, 10 to 100%, he said, but he stopped at 10%. China has retaliated.
That's right.
And then he has to see how it goes. So the question here is, India also have to safeguard itself. If the trade doesn't happen and there is a trade war really breaks out already there are indications between China and America, then China may dump a lot of its products into other countries. It may even come to India. So we have to guard against that. Last time when America tried to impose trade tariff against China, thinking that its own manufacturing will increase, none of that happened. Many Chinese guys went to other countries. American factories in China, instead of coming to America, they landed in Vietnam. And there was some, when the steel prices and aluminum prices were last time also, the tariff was heavily loaded against imports. There was some employment generation, but then it stopped. It wasn't counterproductive in the long term. So I think these are all negotiating tactics again. So these are the two questions I think you raised. So is there anything?
That's it. That's it, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Very insightful. Thank you.
The Federal and City Union Bank jointly present the Thanjavur Marathon 2025 on Sunday, February 23. This event is powered by Sri Kamachi Medical Center and Anandam Silks and organized by Thanjavur District Athletics Association.